and get a sneak peek. I can only show you the front of the catalog for one more day because tomorrow's the big day where we finally get to start our new mini spring catalog. Will be online, and so until then I can't show you the inside, but if you have it already, you can look at page 14 and 15. And the card that is actually on the front is one that I will be doing very close to this and give you an idea of how to use this beautiful bundle. Now, this card in particular is one of the cards using the Tulip Fields bundle. And one thing I've been doing this time when starting to make out my cards is I am looking inside the catalog and trying to case a card or inspire from one of the cards, just to be able to get a feel for what the stamp set and the dies do. And I'm finding that actually very helpful. So in that, we are going to make, oh, I should show you both. So this is the one that's on the front of the catalog, and this is the one that I am going to make with you tonight. And I should maybe take it out of the package so you can see it maybe a little bit better. Don't need to have the shine, but this is the cool wind blade that actually will go around. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the designer paper. So at our virtual catalog launch, we'll go through more of the beautiful paper, but it is just unbelievable paper. How realistic it looks. When I was a teenager, in my late teens, my family went to Germany and then to Holland, and Amsterdam was I thought was a big, ugly, dirty city. And it wasn't until we started driving the countryside that we got to see this beautiful scenery. And so it has special memories for me. But this is the card we're going to make. And we are going to learn how to do some of these other stamps, but this one is going to be with some of the stamps. So we're using the tree and the clouds, and then we're using the dies. So the dies, here we go. You can see mine are well loved already. And then here are the dies. So this is the big blade. And as you can see, there is a hole in the, well, it's kind of blocked. But there's the hole, which means that we can put a brad in it, and that way we can make our windmill spin. And then what I have done for preparation for tonight is I have taken this blade, or this lighthouse. Oh, I do think you could make this into a lighthouse. Keep the blade off, and I think it would make a very nice lighthouse. But today we're making a windmill. So what I did is I did one of each in the very vanilla, and then that way we can layer it, and it just adds more texture onto our windmill. And then of course I did the blade. I did the blade in soft suede. So those are the dies that we use for that. And then for this card, where did it go? I've lost my card. Must be underneath. Yes, here it is. This card here, I've used the fence. These are so adorable, these little fences. And they've got one big one and then 4 smaller ones. And they make this beautiful fence in the background. And these here for the clouds, under the clouds, that is designer paper. So I've got a piece of this, and on the other side is a different shape. And then this is a piece again of the designer paper, and it has more of a neutral on the back. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. I should also mention what's really cute about this is this amazing bicycle. I love it, and it's even a girl's bike, which is unusual that we actually have a girl's bike this time. Okay, so with all my little pieces, which I do have many here, I've pre-cut them and pre-stamped them so it will make it a little bit faster for us. But I'm going to use the Mango Melody as our card base. And I have already used the rectangle die. And I've just cut this piece out. So now we have a frame. And I can use this, of course, for a different card. And let's see. Anybody has any questions, you can put them in the comments and I'll try to look over there. I'm not very good at this and looking at comments, but I certainly will try my best to do that. So we're not going to pop this yet, but just so you have an idea, that's what we're going to start with. Buddy. Oh, he's finally going to go and lie down. So here is where we want to take our two pieces. And all I'm going to do is take a piece of my Stampin' Seal. And I got to make sure I use the right one. I want this side. So I'm just going to go along one side of it. Oh, sticking. And then I'm going to stick that. Oopsie, on the other side too. One on each side. And what I'm going to do is join these two together. So because I have that on there, I am going to attach it, but I have to make sure that it's not going to peek through. So I have to, I think, stack it a little bit more. So what I mean by that is when we put our frame on, we want to make sure that the paper is not showing through, which it wouldn't be. So there we go. Now this is the piece. Oh, I already got this piece glued down. This is the piece we want to now put some more seal on, and we're going to stick it down, and then we're going to take this after and put that on top. So let's build our card. So let's make sure all my little pieces are out of here. I'm going to keep this in screen here, hopefully, so you can see. This here, you can see I have the fences all the way around the back. So we're going to take our little fences, and you could use, oops, as I throw the frame, we can use one of the big ones, but we are going to put a little bit of glue, and you don't need much. So we're just going to barely, oh, and I have to use a new glue. That one is kaput. Okay, now be careful with a new one because then it really tends to come out quick. Too slow. There we go. So just put a little bit on here like that. A little on here. And here. And on here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to, actually, I think I started with the big one. We're going to take this and we're going to put it so the bottom rail is right on that edge of paper so that it looks like it's right on the horizon. And then that way it doesn't look too silly. So we're just going to go all the way across. Oh, now it's going to stick to my finger. Of course it is. Okay, another one. And you could probably put them right side by side. I'm going to leave a little bit of a space between them. And now I don't even need one in there. So I'm going to just put that one there, because as we do our windmill, that will pop over it. So we'll be okay. Now, talk about our windmill. We want to put glue on this side of our windmill. Just going to turn my silicone over so I have a new spot that doesn't get all gluey. And they have some bigger spots. They have lots of little, but I really like how where they've placed the 3, because then really you only need to put glue in those 3 spots. And I have a fair bit of glue there, so I am just going to dab that down so we don't have too much excess. And then I'm going to put it right on top of this here. So yeah, when you're starting with a new stamp set, you know, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to figure out how it works and what to do. And so and sometimes right at the beginning where we are now, there aren't too many ideas on Pinterest or on other Facebook pages and that. So that's why it's a really great idea to just case or get inspired from the catalog, and then that way you have a good start. So I love this card. When I first saw the catalog front, it was like, ooh, I like that. So here we go. We're going to punch a hole there. And our brads are actually in the annual catalog. There's black and white square, and then there is black and white little rounds. And that's all I'm going to use there, is a little one. And I am going to poke that through. Oops, not yet. Where's my windmill blade? Here we go. Now go through. Now, this one is a little bit longer, and technically it would stick over. All I did was rebend it back over, and it was not an issue. So there we go. And now look at this. It really works. Isn't that cool? Beautiful. Okay, quit playing, Madeleine. Oh, I forgot to put the tree behind here. Let's see if we can still, I'll show you another one of my secrets, since I do this a lot, is you take this little tool, the good old Picket tool, and you can slip, so because this one is very fine, but I think we can do it. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on my tree, and I'm going to stick that, might need my tool again, or just lift the whole fence. Maybe my whole fence will lift. Oops. There. Ta-da! All right, there is our tree. Now, this is where we're going to take dimensionals, and I must admit, when I am using my dimensionals, I like to use the edges for these big spots here. So I then just cut, if it's one that's already still full, then I just cut the edges off, and then I can use these big strips. Or if you say do it the other way, you can start with your big piece or your little pieces, and then you have the little or the big strips at the end. But there we go. I'm going to put that. You know, this stamp set is one that and bundle that really caught my eye when I first saw the catalog, and I knew this was going to be one that I definitely got. And it could be that it's because I have the special memories from Holland, and we don't have, it's very unique that way that we have something with from Holland, but I love it. So what we're going to do is just, again, put a different strip down there and go back over here. And, oh, interesting that it's coming off the paper. That has never usually done that before, but there we go. Now we're going to take this, make sure you don't have them sticking out over the edges. And one more. We're going to take it from this side. And it looks like it will be too big, but that's okay. We will snip this off. And then I am going to reuse it over here. Put it right in that corner. Okay. So when you're making a frame like this, oops, I need this picture. It's very important that you kind of stand up and look over. Oops, I got my flowers backwards. That wouldn't be good either. It's a little harder for me with the camera in front of my face, but we will try it. Yeah, it definitely helps to look right over. There we go. Looks like I have my sky a little higher. So technically in this one, I guess I didn't put it quite as high, but that's okay. Now we're going to put on our windmill, our gorgeous little windmill. Now you can see in this card, I've glued it on the bottom, but I've put dimensionals up here. So on the top part of the windmill, I am going to put a big one here. And I'm going to put another big dimensional here. And then I am going to put some glue on the bottom piece because that side is already raised. And we don't want to have it higher than what the other part is. So when you layer this, you just want to make sure that you think about your blades. Your blades have to fit. And it looks like I still have a missing fence. So before I stick that down, I have one more fence, and I will put that then in there as well. Am I missing any questions? It's so different not to see your guys' faces. I hope you're all doing well. Having a good start to the new year. Okay, we're gonna put this in, whoop. Like that. Okay, now I can stick it down. All right, Tanya. Oh, yes, I love it too, Tanya and Carol. Yes, it makes it so cool with the layers, doesn't it? So, there we go. Now we got, and look at that, even helps our blade to be able to work. I guess it goes better going this way because then the blades don't catch. Beautiful. Now on the catalog, which I can show you the front, they did put a green piece across and put a sentiment. So of course that's another idea that you can do as well. But I didn't in this. I didn't want to cover up any more of those beautiful flowers. And of course, depending on which designer paper piece that you chose, you can see my fields are going more like this in the rose, and this one's going more on this angle. But it doesn't matter. It's a very beautiful card. And then in this one, I actually took this stamp that is, oops, come here, middle. This one, oh, I didn't put my clouds on either. Oops, getting ahead of myself. This beautiful strip. And when you're doing a big strip, be careful, because if you go to put it on your stamp like this, it's very easy for it to get crooked. So I don't know if you know, but just put it down flat, let it settle, and then just go with your block and pick it up. And then that way it makes it a lot straighter. So I'm going to use the Mango Melody, and I'm just going to stamp this beautiful border. And this bundle is one of a mega bundle. So the tulips are actually another bundle that goes with this big suite. So they actually all kind of coordinate together, like the flowering tulips paper goes with both of them. And of course, you'll see with the rest of my cards that you can mix and match them very easily together. So I'm just going to put a strip. Did I get that? I don't like that. I'm going to turn it over. Do the other side. I must have done a crooked smudge. Let's try this again. Focus. Much better. Okay. Now, and I should have done that on my silicone mat. Oh, dear me. Okay. So we're just going to glue this on, and then we will use dimensionals actually for putting the clouds. Now the clouds, as you see here, I actually did stamp those. Aren't they cool clouds? Another thing I really love about this stamp set. And those clouds I actually stamped in Blushing Bride. Oh, look what I just did. I got a big smudge. Okay, we won't be using that one. We'll do it again another time, but you saw how I did that. Oh boy. And now we're going to put on our little guys. Now, it's really important with these ones that you use the minis because the clouds are not very big. And so we want to be able to just take the backing off. Come on. See, I've been playing with all my new products today. Our team came for a bit. Hey, Marilyn and Leanne, and we were having some fun making some of the cards for the display. That was a lot of fun. Marilyn did one with the beautiful flowering rain boots, and Leanne did a cute little ladybug card. So we have lots of different cards we're going to be able to show you for the virtual catalog launch. But I thought this year it'd be kind of nice to spread it out a little bit and show you some sneak peeks of some of the products because there's just so many goodies. And that way I could show you a card at the same time. And yeah, and then you can be able to see up close what it looks like and how to use them. And take it in a little bit at a time because otherwise it's a lot of new products and so exciting. But hopefully you've had a chance to see the catalog and get a few ideas. But that's the one. So this one we've used more of the idea of the dies. But I want to show you how to use these stamps because when I saw it at first, I must admit it was like, okay, how does that really work? And I'm going to show you some of the practicing attempts that I had, and you can see that it is it's a learning experience, put it that way. So it can be a real challenge to be able to figure out how you match the corners, all the tips, and then how to have even spots. And then I went that way, and of course, yeah, just not lining up there. So, and this one was one of my early attempts, real fail there, real fail there. So the good news is I've done lots of failures, and hopefully I can show you a little better how we can line those up. And there is a trick to them. So let's do that. Now, I just realized, hang on, I forgot my white bases. And what we're going to do is we're going to use, oh, I got to clean this stamp here. I am going to use the big block because to start off a tulip field, you need to be able to have this stamp. So this is the first one. And again, see, I just let that drop. And then we're going to put it down. And there we have it. So it's really important that this is the one we start off with. And then we can build. So it doesn't matter if you're doing your card landscape or portrait. We always start with this big one on either side. So let me just see here. All right. So now I am using, I think it's Poppy Parade. So I'm going to ink it up. Maybe it's a bigger stamp, might be easier to do it this way. And ink it up well because you want these nice bright colors. That's one thing that just impressed me so much when we drove through Holland was those absolutely amazing tulip fields and how they all, the rows and rows and rows and so many different colors. It's just simply amazing. So we're going to do about half way up. Now, can you see where I am? Somehow it's moved a bit. Sorry there, ladies. I am going to try again, and actually I'm going to put this on my silicone mat, and I'm going to try standing up because it helps to kind of see, and you got to make sure you leave enough room for your windmill. I did one and I went too high up, and then there wasn't enough room for my windmill. So it's a balance of being able to still see some nice tulip fields, but still have room for your stamped windmill. So press down on there, lift, and there you have the beginning of the tulip fields. So we're going to close up because my famous trick is putting everything in the ink. Ay, 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 huh? All right. So we're going to clean this up. And then we're going to go to the next. And when I say the next, we're going to use the other, because this is just for the starting. Now we go back to the actual stamp set and put this back. And now we're going to use this triangle kind of piece. So this is how we build our tulip field. So now in this particular one, where did I put, oh, the colors are all right in front of me. Okay, so I took some Bermuda Bay and I ink it up again really well, because you don't know what part is going to be going off, and it's a lot easier just to ink up your whole stamp so that you don't get some of it going off. So now this is where I might have a little difficulty doing it in front of a camera in front of my nose, but the key is you want to line up the top with the top. They should be almost touching, but in the same breath, you're going to look here and you're going to leave a little bit of a space right there. So I'm just going to ink it up again. I am going to touch and go down. Okay. Lift. Okay. Now, one thing when I use my silicone mat, and especially for a stamp like this that goes over a fair bit, I'm just going to wipe that off so we make sure we don't get it onto our card. So now we're going to go to another color. And, oops, didn't do a very good job there with that one. Wipe that off. Close this one up. And you know, I forgot to get the pink. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to try another poppy. Let's try another red in here. The beauty is that you can use almost any color you want, because that is the amazing thing about the tulip fields, is they're not just red and yellow tulips. They're just every color. So here we go. I'll stand over again. Now we want to leave that little spot. So basically, you know, where the edge of the stamp here, that is kind of where you're going to line it up along this other color. And then you're going to line up the tip. So over and down. So there we go. And make sure again, get this off your silicone mat. Okay. All right, now, next color. I use purple. Do you think the purple will look nice on there? Maybe this time I'll put the yellow. I'll switch it around a bit. Okay, we're going to clean our stamp off again. Because we're using it with many different colors, we got to keep cleaning it in between. And now we're going to take this one here, ink it up, and now we're going to go down again. So start lining them up. Oop, I'm going to go in more on the bottom and down. So you can see there's definitely a trick with it in making sure that you line up at the top, because like the one that I did, where was it? Well, even this one. If you do not line these up properly, that's why they don't fit perfectly. And I don't know how they did it, but when you do it that way, they all do line up perfectly. So yay, Stampin' Up! It's pretty amazing. All right, so let's try some purple. So this is Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to put my Mango Melody away before I ink that up. And this is another nice dark color. So ink that up. Again, I'm going to stand up And it really wouldn't matter if you're going to go there or there. It really doesn't matter which one and which order you go in. Okay. Lift. Isn't that beautiful? So yes, so once you learn that trick, then it will be really easy because now they will just all line up. So I'm going to now try, we could use Bermuda Bay, but I do have also Costa Cabana. So let's try Costa Cabana. And now we're going to take our last tulip field. And sorry, I'm going to have to move it this way so I can see a little better. Might just color that one more time. Okay, now this one is where you want to line up. You have to line up both sides. So that's why I say if you go on, look at the top and go down. Again, it's still hard with the camera in my face, but there you go. Isn't that neat how it just matches perfectly? So this one definitely took me a little time to practice, and that's why it's fun to be able to practice and learn what to do and what not to do so that you can make your stamping experience a little bit easier at the beginning in learning how to use them. But I absolutely love how you can make those tulip fields. So pretty. Okay, so now the next thing I did, and I'll just take this out of my plastic here. I'm getting all the cards up on my display. They're happening. So now you can see that I've taken this background. It's not white, so I have taken, I think it was Pool Party, and I have then just brushed that in the background. So hang on a sec. I'm just gonna, I forgot my brush. Okay. Now, this one, when I finished, I did also use Versamark, and I use clear embossing powder. Can you see the embossing there? So that's kind of a nice technique too that you can. I won't do it tonight, but that is another way that you can do it. Okay, and where's my scrap paper? I always like a piece of scrap paper that I can dab. Here, I'll put this here so you can see it. So I'm just going to turn it around so that I can use this piece. Oops, and I forgot the other thing so that we don't get our beautiful tulip fields all dirty is I'm going to use, you could use washi tape, you could use a Post-it note. I am going to use some painter's tape. Now, to mask this, if we put this right on our tulips, it probably will lift some of the paper. So what I do is I just put it on my skin a few times, and that way it sticks enough, but it's not going to then tear our paper. So what we want to do now is just put that on our stripe, just like that. Okay, and then dab off a bit and then go onto your paper and just go in circles. Dab off. That's funny how it did that mark. Usually when you go in circles, it doesn't tend to do that as much. But that's okay. We'll just kind of put our lighthouse there. That's the beauty of crafting, is you don't have to do it the exact way somebody does it. You can do your own thing and place things in places that nobody will have an idea that you had a boo-boo underneath there. There we go. Maybe a little more on that side. Okay. So now you can see when we take this off, do it slowly still, but see how it doesn't take any paper. So that's a really good trick to remember when you're masking. All right. Now, where's my stamp set again? All right, so now, as you can see, there's this teeny little and a big tree. This is a bunch of 3 little trees. Now, you could use the fence. I'll show you this picture here. I made it look like, thank you. This card, yeah, this one I put the bike in the front, making it look like somebody's going for a bike ride across all the fields, admiring the view. But see how I used the fence there in the background? So you could do that, or we could do the trees. And so, oh, I forgot one more color. Lots of inks. But it makes it so special to do it this way. Okay, so here is our little, it kind of looks the same as the little cloud, so be careful you're choosing the right one. And put that on a block. And now what we are going to do, and again, this might be difficult because of the camera. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stand up. So basically what I did is I took that line of the tree and I used that as my horizontal line. And you see how it fits there just perfect? Now, I didn't want to, I did some of these right beside each other. And then others, I left a gap. And what I did there, when I have a gap, I'm going to take my marker, the same color, Old Olive, and then I can join the dots basically. Okay, come more on this side. Put it on there. So just keep going all along the horizon. But see how that makes a nice, actually I don't even think you have to worry about it. They're pretty well close. You love the bike? Yes, I do too. Hey, Marcia's here too. Hello, Marcia. My Alberta friend. Okay, so now we are going to take our windmill, and I've lost all my pieces. Here's my windmill. Okay, so we can take our windmill, and what I did is I used the 2 crumb cake blends, and we are going to color this windmill. So I started, of course, with the light and just colored it in. I didn't want to do too big of a piece because I'm going to come in with the darker color and do a little blending there. So go back in, just like that. There. Make it look natural. All right. But you see how you could make this a lighthouse too? I think it would make a very nice lighthouse, either the stamp or the die. It definitely could have a multi-purpose there. So I can't wait to try that. There's been so many things to try. I haven't had enough time to try it all yet. So this one, all I did was make that a little bit darker. And then all I did here was I took the dark side or dark blend and I just colored in this part of the blade just to give it a little bit more of a definition there. So right in here, I probably should use the light or the fine tip, but I'm using the bold. There we go. Okay, so there's our beautiful windmill. And what I did with him is I used the mini dimensionals and very carefully place them so that they do fit, but you just got to make sure that they're angled right so that they can fit on the blades. And then you can either use a big one or a little one. Oh, that's funny how it's come off of there. Oh, we forgot one more little one on the other blade. Oops. There we go. Okay, so then now we're going to take these pieces off. I'm making a mess tonight. I don't have my garbage right in front of me. Oops. What do? Do you put them right in the garbage? Sometimes I'm so focused to just finish a card that I tend to just clean up after. So everybody has their way, and sometimes I change that too. Okay, so here is our windmill, and I'm looking at my spot, and see, I didn't go high. Oh, I didn't go high enough. Does that look funny if it's there? See, I said go lower, and I did not go low enough. But anyway, that's where we're going to put it. So now you could put that on your card, and there you have. And like I say, you could do the embossing on there as well. So lots of beautiful dies that come with this one and the stamps. So I've used them all the stamps. And like I say, this one works really well for inside. This works well for doing inside in the tree. So there's different ones that you can use for your insides of your card. And of course, you're going to see some cards made with this die, which is tulips. And I have used them in several different ways. So that's a really nice one as well. So otherwise, yes, you can see I've used them all. I love this set. So you'll be seeing more. I am going to be doing next week, I'm going to do the other bundle that goes with the tulip, and that's the flowering tulips, which go also with the tulip fields bundle. So be watching, because I've got lots of other samples that are going to be coming too for the virtual catalog launch. But lots of other ideas of how we can put those tulips together, because there is a trick in knowing how to put these three-dimensional layered tulips together. So I'm going to share that with you next week. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully you enjoyed having a little sneak peek of some of the cards that I have made, as well as some of this amazing new products. So hopefully you like the tulip fields as much as I do. But there's so much more to show you. So anyway, thanks for coming, and I will see you. You like that one too, hey, Joanne? Yes, me too. So thank you, lady. Oh, thanks for all your hearts. It was great to have you join me, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.